It's like, where did Vania go?
He over there, but he's not over here.
But he's not over here on the stream. We have the FD pick from Sinji. Good luck approaching that.
Yeah, I love the long division wall that Sinji builds up at the beginning of sets. He sets
I'm
up the
so mad.
Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not, but I'm mad.
It's just a great way to stop initial approaches. You can't run in, you can't run through the hydrant without a lot of effort. You can't short hop in. Everything that Fox wants to do to you just can't for a solid 3 seconds or so.
Right, and that I can agree with without any qualms at all. It's incredibly difficult to approach Pac-Man when he does have that placement of trampoline and hydrant. Right there, once more.
We're going to be seeing a lot of that just because it can mitigate so many movement options from Odyssey. And when you curb the movement of Fox, suddenly he's not as threatening as one would think.
And something you were mentioning earlier with the trampoline, when it is red, is that it can be a bit difficult to see on a stage like Lilac because it does phase through. It is almost equally as difficult to see on a stage like Final Destination because of all the red in the background. Odyssey walked right into it right there and allowed Sinji to take quite a bit of percent. And
He did it on purpose that time.
I like Pac-Man. Pac-Man is a great character.
What a well-designed character in a well-designed game that Sinji's using to press a very slight lead, but a lead nonetheless.
Oh, this is
Back
good
air.
for him. Yeah, but Fox is taking a second nature for them. They just click that R button in all the right ways. So, yeah, they really, I really, when it comes to top level Foxes, it's very rare that you see them miss a tech like that. Odyssey making his way there, especially with the wins that he's been getting today.
Sinji's been doing a great job of just keeping Odyssey nailed to the ground. He hasn't really had an opportunity to jump in, start anything fancy, nor has Odyssey been given any situations where he can really take advantage of the vulnerability of Pac-Man when he doesn't have his resources established.
I can certainly agree with that. It's just been, that's the biggest issue in the matchup for Pac-Man is that once Fox gets in his face, there's not a whole lot of things he can throw up beyond that nair. And really, even then, if Fox is spacing correctly, definitely can outrange that nair completely. That apple, once again, but dipped in the direction of Odyssey, definitely giving him a little bit of a scare.
It's not often that we get to see the cherry come out from the bonus fruit selections of Sinji. However, it does have the quickest charge, setting at 17 frames for the bonus fruit to come out and be a live projectile. Right,
and the thing is once Sinji has that cherry in his hand, at this percent, maybe not quite this percent, might be a little bit too much. Anyway, stop sticking.
He blew up.
He blew up, so everything I was saying, disregard. So in the end, Sinji takes it. I love that up at the ledge. Frame 1 option, frame 3 hitbox, and it just really can throw an opponent off when they're trying to pressure you at the ledge.
Yeah, while it's a bit of extraneous info to be dropping frame data like this, like we are, it is worth noting that frame 1 is incredibly fast. That first 1/60th of a second can interrupt so many things that a Fox can throw out. And it really goes to show because it throws off the momentum of many Fox players.
Right. And Sinji using his knowledge of the hitboxes right there. And unfortunately, in the end, losing his stock after taking that up smash.
Now with no time to gather his resources, Odyssey takes that slight moment of reprieve, and Fox things start to happen all over Sinji. And look at the damage he's built up with just that split second of control.
And that pressure, that's the thing with the hydrant, it is considered a wall. So getting out of shield against Pac-Man right there can be incredibly difficult for any character, let alone Fox, who doesn't necessarily have the greatest options right out of shield.
Down smash interacting with the bonus fruit, but it's not going to do anything to it. Instead, Odyssey just taking plenty of damage from the setups, and Sinji's still sitting in control of this game more.
Sinji trying to Z-drop that melon into the hydrant. Ended up not getting it in time. Adi waiting for that roll, but Sinji throwing out that trampoline once more to get out of that scenario. Back over for Sinji, all that hit flag from the down smash from Odyssey. That orange covered the ledge so well, and he gets it twice. 2 oranges.
Curing scurvy every day.
Every
Sinji
day.
taking game 1.
Double the vitamin C for you. And that is going to be the end of game number 1. Sinji takes it on a 1-stock fashion. Pretty close game on FD.
Now, as far as the stage pick goes, I feel like it could definitely change the dynamic of this matchup. Battlefield's going to be our setting for Game 2, and I really like this option from Odyssey. Normally, we don't see Fox's pick into this often, but a lot of platform space gives him move to maneuver, as well as the ability to just change different paths and routing for how his Fox can approach Sinji. It's no longer so simple as setting up the trampoline and fire hydrant to stop him from doing things.
Right, and obviously those extensions that he's going to get on these platforms are absolutely insane in terms of damage dealt. Up air was string into itself for quite a long time. Back air, an immediate side B by Odyssey, catching the movement onto the middle of the stage by Sinji. That was... This man is fast, and this man is smart with all the fast buttons he presses. And he's just like really just forcing Odyssey into disadvantage and forcing him to a spot where really he could not have chosen anything that would have gotten him out of the scenario that he's been being put in.
These angles are just really the bane of Odyssey's approaches throughout all of this. Normally, the unorthodox angles tend to just show how scary Pac-Man is without any efforts of the labor, but everything is just getting right in Odyssey's ways. Every little area he would normally be able to sneak through the defenses of his enemies and start combos, he's just getting caught out by the most random of things, be they water, trampolines hidden in the background, or fruit.
Right, and this bell on deck for Sinji is really a scary spot for Odyssey to be, because if he does get hit by that, it will be his stock. Does end up shielding it. Now that hydrant is terrifying right now. Being reflected does so much percent and it has so much knockback.
But so does up smash, and you don't need a fire hydrant setup for that to kill. Sitting at 113%, Odyssey looking pretty in this game too.
Once again, does the setup like I mentioned not too long ago, that hydrant bouncing on the platform, not going to pressure Odyssey's shield outside of that. Fair? Yes, and Odyssey waits that time around. Once again, the second nature tech of Odyssey going to be able to get him back to the stage.
One thing that I've realized that Odyssey has adapted into his play coming into Game 2 is we're seeing a lot more of his attempting to power shield a lot of the projectiles than opposed to just reflecting them unless it's the vertically dropped fire hydrant. And I feel like that's a really important adaptation where characters with reflectors sort of get baited into that situation.
Right. Oh, that was definitely not what Sinji wanted.
Yeah, no.
He went really deep. I know there is a wall down there somewhere, but for you to bounce the key on, but I don't think Sinji was trying to go that low on purpose. Being that Battlefield is one of the stages you can go not too low to get that key set up, and he does not need any keys right now. This Glacian is doing him just fine.
Sinji sitting in shield gives Odyssey just the opportunity he needs to try and build up some percentage. And it's looking really good for Odyssey. Doesn't grab the Galaga out of the dash attack, putting him in a minor setback, but with all this percentage built on, Odyssey doesn't even have to really like present too much of an offensive state. Just needs to keep Sinji from building it back up against him.
Oh, and this is the opportunity which you were just mentioning for Sinji.
Yeah, that thing I said don't do.
Yeah, you don't do it, but that doesn't matter because up to the up air will come into effect on Pac-Man right there, and it will end his stock, putting us to a game number 3 in this L.Semis, the last best of 3 of the tournament, and then he's going to be coming down between Odyssey and Sinji, and on the counterpick of Sinji, which I imagine will be Final Destination. I can only assume.
Now, Odyssey has made some fantastic adaptations throughout this set. I'm waiting to see if Sinji can make any major changes. Game 3 is bringing us into Lilac Cruise, and I feel like this is really going to hit the dynamic between these two players.
And once again, this we've seen the stage actually a whole lot today, a whole lot for the state of New York. I know quite a lot of people here don't like this stage.
This stage is fine. It's got some bumping music, low platforms.
Devin's dancing.
He's shaking.
It's time to mix. Mix. Yeah. You know. You already know.
You already know what
This
time
is
it is.
the mix song. Someone's getting mixed. There is a Black Fox on screen. And you know who else plays Black Fox? Actually, no. Does Sage use Wolf Fox now? He used to play Black Fox.
It's black.
He does play Black Fox.
Alright,
so this is it's a mixing time.
This is the mixing loopy, but we don't have Sage piloting it just yet.
Oh! Definitely awkward situation there. The interaction between the uppy and the side B from Pac-Man and Fox.
The low profiling Fire Hydrant able to continue this across the stage pressure from Sinji.
Oh, and that medium.
Look at all that damage that one hit did, just
Yeah.
like you mentioned earlier.
It's just so scary, especially when it gets launched. And Odyssey does have to be careful because it's just as strong if Sinji does launch it at him as the vice versa. Did not see his own tramp right there, fell right into it. Oh, that's a back air. A little bit of miss from Sinji. Was definitely trying to DI for that up air.
Doesn't get the timing on the up tilt to further catch Sinji. Sinji able to come back to stage. Just the run-in grab.
Oh, and Nani not reacting.
Stuffs him in the head with the Fire Hydrant, all right.
Oh, what? I don't even want to blame Lilac because I thought that was Pac-Man.
No, that was all Pac-Man shenanigans. The water allowed for Fox to turn his Fox illusion into some sort of instant transmission.
And the man,
Starts flying
the man
upwards.
went up and sideways. Oh, key. Oh. Oh, apple in hand for Sinji. Wait for that mix-up to come out as he jumps up potentially. Now just opts to go straight to that ledge.
Shield pressure definitely helping in some instances, but right now we're just going to see the apple smack Adi across the face, and Adi's sitting at a dormant stock right now.
Oh, and watch as that trampoline rises. Adi's forced to jump into it right there. Not going to be able to pressure Sinji at the ledge. Oh, and that will be a stock.
And here we are sitting on final situation, seeing who has to try and face off against Ralphie for a shot at the money tonight.
That'll be in there.
Battle taking place just around the Fire Hydrant. Forgot the rest of the stage. Very rare situation where we see Sinji missing the spacing on one of his tricks, but
Right, still does end up grabbing that apple right there. It's a whole lot of percent off of it, and really just Sinji maneuvering in and out of Pac-Man's of Fox's range.
yeah, me and Devin just looked at each other as soon as that platform, the trampoline hit itself in the wing.
Yeah.
It was super dangerous. If Odyssey had just decided to run over that that area, Sinji could have pulled the trigger on the trampoline, pulled it right out from under Adi, and he just would have fell to his doom. It's such an, I say interesting a lot, but it really is just a dangerous situation for Pac-Man to find himself, Pac-Man's enemies to find themselves in, rather. Because while a lot of these tricks seem quirky and gimmicky, and they do work out in the hands of Sinji, something as simple as that could really just mean an anticlimactic end to the stock.
Right, and right here, Adi is looking just to finish his stock off right at this moment. Being at the percent lead that he's at, in a really good situation, that is a block string on the shield because of all the pressure with the hydrant as well.
Gallagher in hand, we'll see how Sinji's able to take the situation back, but instead it's just going to flop around on the wing, not going to do much.
Oh, that's going to be a punish for Sinji, nair out of shield. Got to be a bit more careful when trying to punish Sinji's Oh, that's an uppy. However, that's negative on hit.
Nothing coming of it. Odyssey not able to end it just yet. And Sinji does have the bell charged up.
Oh, and he read the roll-in. He read the roll-in and he got it with a down smash. Odyssey takes it 2-1 over Sinji.
All right.
What a god. Look at this. He's walked away. I'm like, you're coming over.
He like measured it out and right there. Damn.
And this is a rematch from